Alaikum. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be with you today. My name is Rob Thurner. I'll be your moderator today and working through a packed agenda where we have some fantastic speakers and a lot of learning, which will be of great value to all of you, I hope. Let me start with just a quick introduction, if I can move the clicker here. So I do two things for a living. I'm a digital consultant and an executive education facilitator. I work with the Google Digital Academy, with the MIT and INSEAD and Cambridge Judge Business Schools, and with a number of clients directly. I have been working in Saudi for 8 years of the last 15 years of my business, and the clients I work with have a lot of data. We're looking at banks, telco, government clients, all with rich insights which can be transformed into ever more efficient decision making, and that's the big focus of what we'll be discussing today. I partner with New Metrics. I've been working with them now for 7 years, and the clients in Saudi include a number of government ministries: the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, with the PIF-owned ELM, which has created so much of the digital infrastructure, and also with Saab Bank and a number of clients directly, so public and private sector. So that's my background. This is such an exciting time for us to come together, and there are a number of reasons for this. First of all, we can see the immense transformation, inward investment and technology that's underpinning Saudi Arabia's phenomenal growth. The North Star is the 2030 vision. And no surprise, experience in the experience economy sits at the very heart of this 2030 vision. And we'll be seeing many references to 2030 as we work through our sessions today. New Metrics has a lot of research, and it shows great news. We have a highly digitally literate population, a young population, very enabled, using, for example, their apps to contact their mobile operators on a regular basis, 79%, and real confidence and trust in the platforms they're using. 88% are comfortable to use the platforms, and that trust is a really important prerequisite for so much that you can do to unlock the experience economy that we'll be capturing in more detail today. So the stage is set. We've got inward investment. We've got the 2030 vision with a very clear mandate around experience, and we have an opportunity to personalize the experiences you're giving your customers, to unlock the hearts and wallets of those key customers and citizens. So what we'll be looking at today is not just the theory. We have a fantastic group of presenters. We have roundtables, we have fireside chats, where you'll be hearing not just the concepts, but the practical frameworks and steps that you can be taking. Today is a great opportunity to share experiences coming from your different perspectives to unlock new ways of tackling the experience challenge and new ways of developing your competitive advantage. What I find fascinating, and when I got called by Mo initially about this event, and I said, I've got to attend this. There's such an interesting combination here that we'll be looking at. Look at the people in the room. We have strategists and innovators designing the business models which will propel their organizations in the years ahead. We have customer experience experts. I've spoken to a number of them this morning, whether it's customer experience or employee experience. We have public sector and private sector organizations coming together. So this is a fantastic group of presenters. And no surprises, the very sectors which are at the heart of the 2030 vision: financial services, telecom, energy, healthcare, government. These are all represented in the group we have today. I know we've had some issues with parking, so I'm sure all these tables will be filling up very shortly, but we've got a really great mix of people in the room and a great opportunity for you to talk to each other and learn from each other. If I can just go back, we get the slide back up. We have the agenda, which we'll be working through. up at the back. Are we good? Let me go back. Okay, so the agenda we'll be working through then. A lot of behavioral science sits at the heart of the customer experience journey, and we'll be talking about the foundations before then leading into innovation. How can we unlock the potential of this technology to be providing ever better experiences to your customers and your staff? How can we amplify the human connection? What's really interesting, we'll look at this in some of the panel discussions, is how customers of all generations really want human interaction. So we're not replacing human interaction, we're amplifying that with the technology that we can access now. Implementation frameworks, AI being the great enabler. We're not replacing, we're enabling. We're capturing more data, processing real time, and so we can be anticipating customer needs, not simply reacting to what our customers are doing. Fundamentally, we need to make sure that our front office and our customer-facing teams are communicating with our back office teams. And it's all around internal communication, making sure we have that leadership, that experimentation, and that agile way of leading, and building that into our organizations. And then imagine we have a magnifying glass, and we're looking to forensically examine the customer and the employee. That's the real focus for our session today. And it's important because our customers are changing, their expectations are changing. They've used Amazon, they've used Uber, they understand what can be done. They're not so interested in why you can't make things work. So their expectations are high. We need to make sure we're bringing this human-centered element into the experiences we're developing. This ties in with the success factors for 2030, and finally, we can position KSA at the very heart of the regional experience revolution, and you're so well placed to do that with the investment and the organizations and the tech we have at our disposal. So just to quickly run through the agenda, what are we going to be looking at? Once I've finished, I'll be handing over to Mike Debnar for the first session from Medallia's perspective. What's the big vision, and how can Medallia help you in realizing your ambitions? We then have a session, I think there's been a change in the agenda. The next session will be one of our first panel discussions where we're looking at the citizen and the citizen opportunity, capturing information from our citizens, residents, and building those into their experiences. We then have Matt, who will be joining us and explaining one of the 3 books he's written around the 10 key principles of customer experience, and explaining his thinking, his experiences, and sharing that with you. If we have time for a Q&A, we'll do that. Otherwise, please reach out to Matt in the break. The break will follow. I expect we'll have the first break at 11 o'clock for half an hour. A chance the prayer room will be upstairs. Then we move on, and Mark will be joining us. Mark, also from Medallia, looking at the different tools and techniques you can be applying from Medallia's perspective to unlock the opportunities, and he'll be explaining that in his session. We then have the next panel session on leading customer-centric transformation from the financial services industry, and some guest speakers. These will be hosted by John Abraham, as a seasoned CX expert himself. And then moving on to what's grabbing the headlines, the gig economy, looking at NEOM, looking at the Red Sea project. How is experience at the very heart of these giga projects being developed? We then look in the last session, the last sessions in the afternoon, at how can new metrics help you? We have a session here from Mohsen looking at scaling actions based on listening. How can we use the technology to amplify opportunities for you? And the next session on talent. How can we be hiring the very best talent into our organizations? If we're CX orientated, it's certainly going to help you to bring in the right talent and share that around the organization. Wrapping it all up, Rami will come up and explain these different principles, the technology, the culture and the organization, the ways that we can be using the tools at your disposal to provide a competitive advantage for your organization. And then finally, Nada will wrap up and say some concluding words. Now, we're running approximately 20 minutes behind on the agenda, so I expect we need to add 20 minutes to each of these times. Is that clear so far for the agenda? So the fundamental point around how we're being hosted here, we've got this combination, Numetrics with their regional expertise in KSA, but across the GCC, with the immense resource and insights that they can bring, alongside the global expertise and platform that Medallia provides. So this is an excellent combination, and we can see a number of businesses are already working with Medallia and Numetrics, and we hope there'll be opportunities here for you to speak to those organizations in the panel discussions we have here, in the breaks, learn how this opportunity can be realized, and then reach out to the rest of the team. So the regional expertise and global innovation is why I think we're in for a really fantastic day today. And I'm so pleased that you're all here, and wish you a great learning experience as we go through. So the agenda there, we've got these 4 parts. We start with the vision and how experience is clearly linked to the Saudi 2030 vision. Strategy and frameworks, how can you apply the frameworks already being used by other clients and bring that into your organization. Execution, we'll be looking at real-time case studies and examples of how organizations are using these tools. And then finally, a look at the future. Where are we going next? And how can we be prepared for that future journey? My job is to make sure we put all the speakers on here on time delivering their sessions, and to make sure that you're engaged and to keep a close eye on the time. Your job is to ask questions, to network, and to take the best of this learning opportunity.